Hey, I'm Brittany Bookout, and I want to welcome you to A Fake ID, a podcast where we uproot cultural norms in an effort to become the most authentic version of ourselves. But my biggest question is, have you ever had a fake ID? Guess who's back?
I'm back.
She's back again. Do you remember that Eminem? Why are we always talking about music? The Eminem song?
Because it feels so empty without
Oh my
me.
gosh, we talked about this actually in the first, I cut it out actually of the first episode. So fun fact, our first episode lasted like an hour and 40 minutes. So I had to cut out so much, but I'm actually going to post that reel maybe this week because Soul learned how to say the word empty because of Eminem.
Yes, I did.
So we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah. You'll see it later.
You'll see it. Follow the Instagram at the Fake ID podcast. But I am Brittany Bookout, and this is
Soul Santiago.
my friend. She's back. We are going to be talking today about dating in the LA world, dating in not just the LA world, every world, all over the world. Specifically, you were wanting to talk about online dating.
Yes, dating apps.
Dating apps. Oh my gosh. Which I've never done. Last week we talked about speed dating. Did I tell you that me and Ariel went speed dating? So funny. If you haven't watched last week's episode, it's hilarious. The audio is kind of weird because we recorded it from a restaurant in Hollywood, but it is what it is. So anyways, so you're on dating apps or you've been on them before?
So I finally got on dating apps. Now I was on them when I first moved to LA from New York.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to meet new people. I knew no one here.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna not only that, but I was also on like Meetup, which is like an app where you can like network with people and things like that.
Cool.
So I was on everything just because I wanted to like meet people and get into like the industry, the writing industry and things like that. So I did get on the apps, but I wasn't like, I'm gonna date.
You
like,
were like not in a dating mode.
Yeah, like it wasn't because of that, but I was like, I'll get on the apps.
Yeah.
So the first story.
Oh my gosh, tell me. Wait.
Like,
I feel like we should talk about where did you know the first online dating? When you said you wanted to talk about this, I looked up the very first online dating was in 1965. A team of Harvard undergrads created Operation Match, the world's first computer dating service. But Match.com holds the very first online dating website. The same person who registered Match.com, that was in 1995. The same person who registered Match.com also registered a site called Kiss.com in 1994. But that clearly didn't work out because that has now obviously just turned into Match.com. Oh, wow. And that is that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been around now, what, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And we're going strong. I don't know if that's the right term to say. Yeah. Give me some insight. So give me the first story. Hit us with some online dating app stories.
First, I think that this dating app thing is like now just dating. Okay. Like this is
the
how
new
you
world?
date now. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm like this is just the only way now. But my first experience, I met a really good guy.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
This was in 2016.
Oh, okay.
I want to say.
So like when
I moved here in 2015. No, this was probably like end of 2015, beginning of 2016.
Okay.
And so yeah, my first experience was really good. We ended up dating for about 6-7 months.
Okay.
And then it didn't work out because of me.
Because of you. What happened? What do you mean because of you? What does that mean?
You know, I was just had just moved from New York. I had never like gotten like broken up with or anything.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I was like, I can like talk to guys however I want. They're not gonna leave me.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, he left me.
Oh my gosh.
He left me.
What happened?
So with this guy, he really had it all together. Like, he had a really good job. He was like a creative. Like, his financials were in order. We were the same age, like early 20s, but we were like, he just had it together. He came from a really good family and things like that. And I was just a little bit loud and rowdy and kind of aggressive.
Oh my gosh. She just came in from New York like a storm.
Yeah.
I love it.
I came in like a wrecking ball. And
Stop it.
And after like a few arguments and you know, a few interrogations, and
like, you interrogated him?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like you learned from this experience?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. He ghosted me.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So you were
Literally.
dating. Can we talk about ghosting? Actually, what is that? Like, what? Like, why do people do this? Communication, people. Communication.
I think, like, no, people don't generally like confrontation. Like,
Right.
people don't like to even send a text saying, "Hey, this isn't working out, so I'll see you later," because, you know, like, they don't want to get like a bad response. They feel bad. I don't know, so they just ghost.
I know, but you know what? Like, I feel like if you communicate, like, if you don't communicate, you have every way of becoming the villain in someone's eyes.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
and he
people
did at that
make
time.
up everything in their head about you, about how you're awful, about like how they it makes you crazy when someone ghosts you.
Absolutely.
And so, like, if somebody would just clearly communicate, like, hey, this isn't working out. Yeah, that's kind of harsh, but like, at least it's like a hard cut, you know?
Yes.
I don't know.
You
I'm
get
all
closure.
about communication. Yeah.
Yeah, you get closure.
But is ghosting pretty common in the dating app world?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
I love
say
that
so.
I'm talking to you like I'm 85.
No, and listen,
because
I
don't use
I
dating
am
apps.
no expert. I just like.
But you've used them.
I just jumped on it
Yeah.
now, but I used to be really like, after that, I didn't get on the apps
No.
anymore, like
Okay.
at all. And it was until now actually that I got back on. But
so that was the first guy. You found a good one.
yeah.
But then it just didn't work out.
Yes.
You realized some things about yourself.
Yeah.
So
a couple things.
okay, then what happened? Like, what other ones?
Okay, so recently, I got on some Christian apps.
Okay.
Because where I am today, I feel like, you know, I want someone who has like my same beliefs and morals, values, and things like that.
Very important.
Because otherwise he's not gonna understand my lifestyle and things like that. Right. So, I got on some Christian apps, and I'm like, okay, this is better, you know, because we don't have to have like certain conversations because we're on the same path, you know. So everything's going good.
And then stop it.
And then I swipe on this guy.
Wait, so you were? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You swiped on this guy.
Yeah. It's the swiping.
All right.
So, and we match. So how it works is that if you swipe on someone, yes. If they swiped on you,
okay,
then you match.
Okay.
So
I feel like I knew that to a certain extent. I don't know which way you swipe, but I do know that.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't either. And then I'm like, no, I didn't mean to. So, yeah, that happens too.
Okay.
But, okay. So I swipe, we match, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this guy is my physical type.
Okay.
Which
we all know.
Yes. Do you guys remember?
Oh my gosh. Stop.
It's not my type anymore.
Put it in the comments. Okay. It's not my type.
It's not my type anymore.
So
but
you matched with this guy.
So I matched with him, and I'm like, cool, you know, and he in his little bio and stuff, he's talking about God, and I'm like, okay, like, let's see. I want to talk to him and see if he's, you know, what he's about. So we start talking on the little messaging section. Once you match, you go into the messaging.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And then a couple paragraphs in, I'm like, no,
something's not right.
Yeah, like something was like a little off. Like at this point, my discernment is on point. And I was
but
like,
were you listening to it?
Yes, okay. That's the thing. That's what I'll get into next.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
So, okay, like I said, this guy is very much my type.
Yeah.
So I kind of got in my head and I'm like, maybe what I'm not liking is just, you know, a trigger of mine from like past relationships or guys that I dated that look like him.
Sure.
You
remind me of a boy that I once knew.
You remind me of a boy, you know? So that's the first thing that popped into my head was Usher.
Yeah.
So I was like...
Did he remind you of Usher or just the song?
No, the song.
A little bit of both? A little bit of both? I don't know.
So yeah, so I was like, no, this is a no. I don't like some of the things that he's saying is off. It's like giving me red flags about his character.
Okay.
You know? So I'm like, no. So
this is all through like a direct message.
Yes.
Okay.
So I unmatch him.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You ghosted him.
I'm very like cutthroat. So
oh my gosh.
I unmatched him.
You gave him no warning sign. You just unmatched.
I just unmatched.
Okay. So now you're the villain.
Now I'm the villain.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Soul.
Yes. So,
okay.
And usually I don't care.
Okay.
Because if I'm like protecting myself and I feel like, you know, it's my discernment telling me to do so.
Sure.
And if it's someone I don't know,
right.
You know, I'm like,
there's not a whole lot of buy-in there.
Yeah.
You're like literally, you haven't even heard his voice.
Right. So I'm like, this is, if anything, this is the moment to do it, you know?
This is all so strange to me. Okay. No, I don't mean it like in a judgmental way. It's just so I get foreign. You. Okay, keep going.
We got to get Brittany on the apps.
No. Just kidding. I won't do it. Not doing it.
So, okay. I had given him my my Instagram. That's a whole other story, but for the sake of time. So he reaches out to me on Instagram.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And he's kind of like, you unmatched me out of nowhere. Like,
wow, but he
what
like
did I do?
He still like pursued it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was like, look, I can tell that, you know, you're a good woman. You're a woman of God. Just, you know, by the you know, few words that we exchanged.
Yeah.
But he was like, I don't want you to be scared. Like, give me a chance. Like, meet me in person.
I don't want you to be scared.
Yeah, like, because I just ran off. So
like, I'm not scared.
No, I was scared. He was right.
Oh my gosh.
So he's like, meet me in person. And if you don't like me then okay, I get it. Like, you know. So I was like,
just wanted a chance.
Okay. So I talked to a few friends about it, and, you know, some of them were like, no. And, you know, the other half were like, give it a chance. Maybe it is kind of like, you know, you're being triggered and you're being, you know, a little bit too protective over yourself, you know. And my hesitation with the apps is like, I didn't care to like date really.
Yeah.
So, but then I'm like, well, you know, I would like to meet a partner. And since I don't go anywhere, I just go to work and go home, and like, you know, I enjoy being home.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So I should get out there in some type of way, because if not, like, maybe, you know, my prince isn't going to fall on my lap.
Okay, wait. So you met up with him.
So
against your better judgment.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I meet up with him, and he was just like, you know me, I like a man with a sense of humor.
Yeah. And
I like a gentleman, a very like polite person, and blah blah blah. So his thing was very like to the point, which I you know, I respect that. Like, he's like, I'm you know, looking for a relationship, and this is what I want in a woman. And in the word, it says that, you know, a woman is this to a man, and blah, blah, blah. Like, he talks a lot.
Okay.
Which is fine, you know.
he knows what he wants, I guess.
Yeah.
He's trying to get that out of the way.
Yeah. Again, there's things being said that I'm like, I don't know about this. Okay, fine. So it ends up pretty good. Like we got to talking and things like that, and he told me, things about him, and I told him things about me, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So he was like, okay, well, let's keep texting, talking. So we keep texting and talking on the phone and things like that after that. And then he's like, hey, when do you want to see me next?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what's your schedule like? Like, do you want to, see me maybe this weekend? Are you available this weekend? And then he's like, well, do you want it to be like a long distance thing? Like, don't you want to see me all the time? I'm like, that's something so weird to say to somebody you don't know. I'm like, I'm just trying to see if you're available.
You made like an impact on him though. He clearly was like, I need to see you again.
Yeah. Which is cool. Like
it is. It's like any other girl in that position would probably be like jumping.
There
right?
It is.
If it was the right guy for you.
Exactly. But again, this is a very good looking guy.
Yeah.
So he's used to that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's used to that. He's never met me. No, but okay, so I'm like, hey, let's, go hiking or something Saturday. Like, let's see each other during the day.
Yeah.
So to make sure that, I'm seeing you under the sun.
Oh my God.
So
So you went hiking with him?
No, he wanted to go to the movies, and I was like, okay, cool, I like the movies, but he wanted to go in the morning. I'm like, okay. So we're planning
little matinee life.
Yeah. What? So I'm like, okay,
this is the strangest.
This is when it gets good.
What's going on? What is happening? Okay,
this is a train,
are we
and
running?
we're getting
we're
there.
Training? Okay,
Yeah.
we're training to the date. All right,
so
let's go. Hit
the
it.
night before, he sends me a message, and he's like, okay, I'm looking at this movie theater. Mind you, he did live really far from me.
Okay.
We lived far from each other, so we were trying to find like a middle ground.
A middle ground. Okay.
So he got the theater. He chose the theater. And then he's like, okay, we'll go here. And then he sends me another text, and he's like, so are you tech savvy? Because I'm not, and I don't, I want to get the tickets, but can you buy your ticket and then I'll buy mine in person? I looked at my cat and I said, can you believe this, girl?
You looked at the cat? You included the cat in the conversation?
I'm like, look at this.
So he wasn't, this is also another conversation, but like, should the guy pay?
First date, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Be a gentleman. Be a gentleman. But don't also like, okay. So I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt. And this is just me. At this point, I'm trying to prove that I was right from the beginning. So I'm giving him all
of it.
All chances to redeem himself.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, well, you know what? Like, we're going really early in the morning. I'm sure, the seats the good seats aren't going to sell out, Yeah. So I'm like, let's just wait till we get there. We'll be fine.
You're like, no, I'm not buying my ticket either.
Yeah, absolutely not. So he's like, no, this is a very, very popular movie. We got to get the tickets, at least save your seat. And then when I get there, I'll buy my ticket.
That's so weird.
So I go off.
What's happening?
In Jesus' name. And I tell him, I'm like, I am not going to buy a ticket to go for you to take me on a date. I was like, I don't know exactly what I said, but I was like, you're not tech savvy, but you're on Instagram, you're doing this, you're doing that. That's a very weird thing, excuse to make. I'm not buying my movie ticket for you to take me on a date. And I feel Jesus slapping me for just entertaining the thought of agreeing to this. Like,
I can't.
I've never in my lifetime had someone do something so ridiculous. I don't know if this was a test or something, but this was really stupid. Like, really stupid. And then, you know, I said a few other things. And the first thing he says back is, if you think that I can't afford movie tickets, you have issues. When I didn't mention that once.
Okay.
I didn't mention that.
Okay.
So obviously, that was the reason.
I'm so confused by this whole situation. Because honestly, I don't, like, whatever. I would buy my own movie ticket. Like, I don't care. Whatever. But like, I'm just confused at the...
For a date though?
I don't know. Like, I honestly don't care enough.
If we were friends, yeah.
No, but I'm confused by the whole situation because it's like, why would he want you to buy a ticket to a movie? Like, so you have a seat and he's like, but I'll just get mine when I get there. Like, it's just confusing.
It's very weird.
That part's kind of weird.
It's very weird.
I will say. Yeah.
So I don't know like his entire situation. Obviously he wasn't going to share it with me.
Okay.
But all this to say, and this wasn't the only strange thing that he said. Sure. You know, there was other things. But I just got out of there and I never answered him again.
Did he try to reach out again?
Yeah, he did. But I didn't answer anymore. And no, it's just, you have to, like, I started thinking to myself and I started like looking at my future self. Yeah. And it's like, is this what I want to even deal with someone like this? Like, that just doesn't match me. Yeah. You know, our characters don't match, our personalities don't match. Yeah. You know, it's, you know, these are basic things to me. Sure. Like basic things. Like if you like me and you want to, I gave him the chance to do something free. I suggested hiking. Yeah. And he didn't want to do that. Right. So.
Yeah. But so did you walk away from this? Do you feel like all like dating app situations kind of fall in that category a lot? Like where it's like a little bit confusing. Maybe once you get there and you meet somebody, it's either underwhelming or maybe like either they're not as into you as you thought or you're not as into them as you thought because you're like now exchanging energy. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
That's the chance that you take. And this is why I didn't want to be on the apps. Yeah. Because it's like, it's weird to me. Maybe it's because I'm a millennial, but it's weird to me because you match and then you talk for a little bit and then you're like, I don't want to keep talking on this app. And then you're like, but I don't want to give them my number. Like, I don't know this person. And then you have to go through the whole thing of like making sure that they're real, that you're not getting catfished. And then you meet them in person. And like you said, you can be like disappointed because, you know, they lied about X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Or you just don't have a connection. So now you wasted 2 weeks of your life.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like,
but I mean, is it really wasted? Because like, do you learn from every situation?
Yeah, like you do. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm tired of lessons.
Yeah. I'm just telling you, like, it's just not something that I could do. Like, not that I couldn't do it. Like physically I could do it, but like, I just have no interest. It's just different for everybody. Yeah. It's not my vibe. I'm also not looking for someone, so that's different. Yeah. But like, yeah, that's hard. Like I can't imagine.
Partnerships really come out of apps as like my first story. Yeah. Like he was a really good guy that worked out. Sure. Yeah. You know? But then you have like instances like this, you know? And then you have like, I had another guy who just was texting me and texting me and texting me and then I was like, dude, like what's next here? Like you're just like texting me and telling me, oh, I'm thinking about you. Are you thinking about me? And to be honest, no, I'm not, because I'm wondering, like, are you going to take me out so I can see what you
like,
look
you
like
just
in
wanna,
person?
like, meet them, talk to them. Like, that's a big deal
you
to
got to
me.
get to it.
Yeah. Well,
see if I like
also,
you.
I think that I feel like dating in general is not necessarily normal. Like, I was looking this up because the earliest usage of the noun date, as in like dating the way we use it now, was in 1896 by George Ade. He's a columnist from the Chicago Record, and date referred to public courtship when a woman would meet a man publicly rather than privately.
Yes.
And so, like, even dating is still really new. Like,
it is.
I mean, I know that people have like fallen in love like all over time and stuff like that, but like arranged marriages were a thing for a very long time. Like,
yes.
And I'm not saying that I want an arranged marriage,
yeah,
but like I think that like so many of like my relationships in life have come out of like friendships.
Yeah.
But it can also cater itself to situationships, which are not the best either. So the idea of dating, like if you are looking for somebody, being on an app or something, is like at least you know going into it. Same thing with speed dating.
Yeah.
You know going into it, this person is like here because they are interested in dating versus like getting into a situationship with a friendship, and then it's like, ooh, I don't really like you like that, you know, or they don't really like you like that. Like it can be confusing. At least you're like, you know what you're coming for, you know?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, it's such a different world to me. Like, I'm like glued. So fascinated.
But it's so interesting that you say that about like arranged marriages and stuff, because I've been like, when I went to Germany, I went to this museum, and it was like museum of like poetry and stuff, and like takes you, like, it talks about when marriage became about love.
Yeah.
Because you're right, before it was arranged marriages.
Yeah.
And the statistics show that those marriages last longer than love marriages.
It's so true, because you have to learn how to love somebody with your actions.
And it was a village of people choosing this person for you.
Yeah.
And your families would agree first, which means that your families had similar values. They raised you in similar ways.
Yeah.
So these two people were already a match.
Yeah.
You know? So when they meet for the first time and get married, I know that sounds crazy, but it works.
Yeah.
It really works. And then they get to know each other under like the sacredness of marriage.
Right. Yeah.
So
how wild is that?
I can kind of see how
it worked out.
Yeah, how it does work.
Yeah.
And now it's just like dating is confusing.
It's so much more. I mean, I'm not saying I want to have an arranged marriage or want you to have one, or anyone. Me neither. Like, if you have an arranged marriage, go for it. Yeah. But if you're not into that, I just feel like it is interesting because you are coming from a logical place of loving somebody versus like chasing your feelings and being like, oh, this guy gives me butterflies, and then going through all that. Our emotions lie to us all the time, all the time. So I just feel like there's so many times where I've chosen the wrong person because I'm just
all of us
feeling all the feels. Yeah. And I actually have a song about this coming out this week. I'm not kidding. This is crazy. Perfect timing. I didn't plan this at all.
Shameless plug.
I have a song coming out this week called Egyptian Chamomile.
Oh my God.
And
that's such a cool name.
It is. So it is a cool name. Thanks.
Yeah.
But it's all about this moment that I had with somebody where we were sitting, we were having like chamomile tea at this place. We were good friends, but we were also kind of like that whole situationship thing, you know? Yeah. And it's like, I knew in the moment that it was not love. Like I knew it in the moment that it wasn't love, but it was like I was still catering to the moment. Yeah. And it was such a sweet moment. Yeah. And it's a nice thing to reminisce on. And that's the whole song's kind of about that. It's like, it's nice to reminisce on this, but I'm so glad I'm not with you.
Yes.
And not in a bad way. It's just like, you know, like, yeah, you were never good for me.
Yes.
But like I can still look fondly on this memory.
Yeah.
So anyways, but yeah. So just not going with those feelings.
Yes.
But actually just going with the logic.
Yes.
So is that where you're at now with dating? You're still on the apps?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it to God.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
see, the thing with me too, I'm so, like, I feel so complete and I'm so fulfilled and happy with just the life that I have. I've even told God, like, hey, if my journey is just to, you know, be alone, write my books and serve you, I'm down. Like, I have an amazing family, amazing friends, excuse me, an amazing church. So excuse me, I don't have water. I'll tell you that much.
No, I didn't provide the water today.
No. But I'm very much fulfilled and happy, you know. So, and I think that's also like a good place to be open to love and relationships and dating or whatnot. I don't like dating.
I know.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You'll find out on the next. No, I'm just kidding.
No, literally. I feel like, don't you think this should be a segment? These little mini episodes of Soul talking about her online dating life. I love that we have back-to-back dating episodes. This has been so great.
Well, that one wasn't a dating episode. It just happened to be, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Larry's the one for me.
Oh my gosh, Larry, we're still looking for you.
You know?
Soul is, she's Valentine's out right now.
Yeah.
She's
for
ready
you,
for
Larry.
You.
For you. For you.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I think that's it. Are you anything else you want to share about dating?
No, I just wanted to share this very bizarre story.
Tell me. Oh, that's over there.
Yeah, that one.
There's more?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Oh, there's more.
Oh my gosh.
That's for another time.
Well, I can't wait. We will see you next week. Follow at the Fake ID Podcast on Instagram. Email us, thefakeidpodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear your fake ID stories. Actually, we want to hear your dating stories. Have you been speed dating? Do you use the apps? Like, I actually want to hear more because I don't do any of this stuff, and I would love to hear what life is like on that side. And we kind of want to share them on air. So send those, DM us, do all the things. Soul. Yeah, follow Soul on Instagram.
Don't leave me alone at this. You can follow me at I am Soul Santiago _.
Yes. And we will see you next week. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.